dark prophecies, mysteries, villains, and fragile alliances. Episode 4 of The Rings of Power is packed with tension and intrigue. From the shadowy depths of the Southlands to the crumbling walls of Númenor, join us as we dive deep into the twists, turns, and hidden secrets that are shaping the future of Middle-earth. Before we delve into Episode 4, I'll remind you that instead of a play-by-play, I will be breaking the episode down into 3 main stories: Galadriel, Halbrand, and Queen Muriel in Númenor, Arondir and Bronwyn in the Southlands, and Elrond and Doran at Khazad-dûm. These are my order of preference, always ending with my favorite storyline for the episode. Unfortunately, there is no Nori, Stranger, and the Harfoots in Episode 4. So if you're only watching for them, you can skip it. Okay, we'll start in the Southlands, where Arondir is captured after a harrowing escape attempt. We immediately are plunged into the heart of darkness as he is dragged into the orc encampment, a grim and foreboding place that feels like physical manifestation of despair. The tension is palpable as we're introduced to Adar, a mysterious figure cloaked in shadow and myth. Adar's introduction is a masterclass in creating a complex villain. He's an elf, but unlike any we've seen before. His face is scarred, and his demeanor exudes a strange mix of grace and malevolence. In a chilling moment, Adar confronts a dying orc, an act that reveals a twisted, betrayal side to this character. The tender way he strokes the orc's forehead, before mercifully ending its suffering, is both unsettling and intriguing, challenging our perception of good and evil in this world. The scene suggests that Adar is more than just a typical antagonist. He is someone with a deep connection to the creatures around him, possibly hinting at a past intertwined with dark forces. Arondir, confused and alarmed by what he's witnessing, asks Adar directly who he is and why the orcs referred to him as father. Adar's response is cryptic, filled with references to ancient lies and the need to remake the world, which he ominously hints is beyond even the gods, at least beyond them for now. This dialogue sets up Adar as a character with grand ambitions, someone who sees himself as a potential godlike figure, possibly seeking to reshape Middle-earth according to his own dark vision. His refusal to fully answer Arondir's questions adds to the mystery surrounding him, leaving both Arondir and the audiences in suspense. In a surprising twist, Adar does not kill Arondir. Instead, he sends him back to the watchtower of Ostirith with a message: the humans must surrender and swear fealty, or face annihilation. This decision introduces a strategic element to Adar's character. He's not just a brute force, but a calculated leader who uses fear and psychological warfare to achieve his goals. The task given to Arondir also places him in a moral dilemma, as he must now deliver this stark ultimatum to the people he's sworn to protect. Next, we will travel to Ostirith, the refuge, still in the Southland. This is a stark contrast between the grim encampment of the orcs and the desperate makeshift refuge of the Southlanders. This becomes apparent. The people led by Bronwyn are struggling to survive, their fear and uncertainty palpable in every scene. The watchtower of Ostirith, while a place of refuge, is far from secure. The defenses are weak, and the atmosphere is heavy with dread. The setting evokes memories of Helm's Deep from the Two Towers, but with a much darker, more desperate edge. The people here are not warriors, they're farmers, villagers, and families, unprepared for the horrors bearing down on them. The arrival of Waldreg, an eccentric and somewhat ominous villager with a meager supply of potatoes, highlights the dire situation. Food running out, and with it, the hope of the people. The small amount serves as a reminder of the harsh realities of war. Not just the battles, but the slow, grinding wear of starvation and fear. Tensions rise as Theo, Bronwyn's headstrong son, becomes increasingly frustrated with the situation. He argues with his mother about their food strategy. believing that more aggressive action is needed. Ignoring her warnings, he decides to take matters into his own hands, sneaking out with a friend to scavenge in the abandoned village. This decision sets the stage for a dangerous encounter, illustrating the recklessness of youth and the desperation that can drive even the most well-meaning people to risk everything. Theo's journey back to the village takes on the tone of a horror film, with every shadow and sound amplifying the tension. The once lively village is now a graveyard, filled with the remnants of life, rotting livestock and abandoned homes that serve as a haunting backdrop to Theo's quest for food. And as he and his friend navigate the deserted streets, they encounter scenes of death and decay that foreshadow the danger ahead. The mood is eerie, with the silence of the village amplifying every small noise, putting both the characters and the audience on edge. When they finally reach the tavern, the sense of dread is almost unbearable, as the safety of the familiar place is now overlaid with the threat of unseen enemies. Inside the tavern, Theo finds a small bag of spilled rice, an insignificant amount, but in these desperate times, even this feels like treasure. As he scoops the rice into the bag, the door creaks almost slick closed, and the tension reaches its peak. Suddenly, an orc attacks. In a moment of panic and sheer survival instinct, Theo pulls out the mysterious sword hilt he discovered earlier. The hilt, reacting to his blood, ignites with a dark energy, revealing its true sinister power. The orc, recognizing this power, demands to know where he found it, adding layers to the mystery to the weapon and its connection up to dark forces at play. Theo's escape is a heart-pounding sequence. He hides in a well, narrowly avoiding capture, a scene that highlights his vulnerability in the very real danger he's in. Later that night, he emerges only to face another orc. Just when it seems Theo's luck has run out, Arondir appears, saving him in the nick of time. The chase that ensues through the woods is intense and thrilling, with the orcs hot on their heels. This action sequence not only raises the stakes for Theo and Arondir, but also foreshadows the larger battles to come. When they get back to Ostirith, Arondir and Theo return to a tense and fearful community. The weight of the message Arondir carries is heavy, and he delivers Adar's ultimatum. The reality of their dire situation sinks in for the villagers. The watchtower, once a symbol of refuge, now feels more like a prison. The villagers, already on edge, react with a mix of fear and defiance to the news that they must surrender or face certain death. The scene is charged with emotion as the community grapples with the impossible choice before them. Here, the tension escalates when Waldrig, the twisted barkeeper, confronts Theo. In a dark and revealing conversation, Waldrig identifies the sword hilt as an ancient relic once belonging to Sauron. His scars and deepen knowledge of the artifact suggest a past involvement with the dark forces, and is a burst hint at a lingering loyalty to the Dark Lord. This revelation adds a new layer of danger, as it becomes clear that there are those among the villagers who may not be as trustworthy as they seem. Waldrig's allegiance to evil forechathers, internal conflicts that could fracture the already fragile community. Now, we move on to the story in Númenor this episode. Starting out with an ominous vision. So in the island, growing tensions, and the ominous signs that something is deeply wrong, Queen Regent Miriel takes center stage in this subplot, her character steeped in both authority and profound sense of dread. Númenor, with its grand architecture and rich history, is shown in stark contrast to the Southlands. However, the grandeur is overshadowed by an increasing sense of doom. The visuals in the scene are particularly striking, with the white tree, Númloth, standing as a silent witness to the island's impending crisis. During a ceremonial blessing of Númenor's infants, Miriel was struck by a terrifying vision. She sees a massive wave engulfing the entire island, a catastrophic event that symbolizes the fall of Númenor. The vision is vivid and unsettling, a harbinger of the destruction that Miriel fears may be inevitable. However, it's soon revealed that this wave is part of a prophetic dream. one that has haunted Muriel and informed many of her recent decisions. The white tree Nimloth begins to shed its leaves, a deeply ominous sign, given its historical significance as a symbol of Númenor's prosperity and the connection to the elves. The episode delves into the history of Nimloth, tracing its lineage back to the sacred trees of Valinor, which were destroyed by Morgoth, the Dark Lord. This connection to ancient elven history deepens the significance of the tree's decline, making the potential downfall of Númenor itself. Muriel's fear for her people and her island is thus rooted in history that spans ages, adding weight to her decisions in the tension between her and the elves. Along with this boding vision, Muriel must deal with political and social unrest in Númenor as it begins to bubble to the surface, driven by the fear of the unknown and the manipulations of Pharazôn, Muriel's advisor. As the people grow increasingly suspicious of the elves, Pharazôn sees this as the moment to solidify his influence. Pharazôn delivers a powerful speech that further strokes the fires of mistrust. With a calculated blend of populism and subtle manipulation, he declares, "Elven hands will never take Númenor's helm," carefully positioning himself as a protector of Númenor's sovereignty. His rhetoric is crafted to resonate with the fears of the common people, who are very wary of elven influence and the potential loss of their ways of life. The scene draws clear parallels to real-world issues of xenophobia and political manipulation, adding a layer of contemporary relevance to the series. Muriel's internal struggle becomes more evident as she contends with Pharazôn's growing influence and unrest, as it's causing among her people. Her initial hostility towards Galadriel is now shown to be rooted not only in political caution, but in a genuine fear for her people's future. Muriel is a leader caught between the weight of a tradition, the fear of prophecy, and the immediate pressure of governance, making her a deeply complex character. Her reluctance to engage with the elves is now understood as a protective instinct, albeit one that may be misguided. Here also, Galadriel's frustration comes forth with Númenor's inaction, and it leads to a dramatic confrontation with Muriel. Galadriel reaches new heights as she demands action, her voice rising with the line, "There's a tempest in me." This declaration not only showcases Galadriel's fiery determination, but highlights her struggle to balance diplomacy with her warrior spirit. Her insistence on seeing Muriel's father, the Hidden King, results in her imprisonment, adding tension and setting the stage for a daring escape. As the episode progresses, Muriel is forced to confront the reality of her situation. The ominous fall of Nimloth's leaves continue, reinforcing the sense of impending doom. The visual symbolism is clear. Time is running out, and Númenor's fate hangs in the balance. Muriel's decision to lead an expedition to the Southlands marks a pivotal moment for the series. The once reluctant queen now takes decisive action, rallying Númenor's court to prepare the ships for the journey. This decision is not just about aiding Galadriel, but it's also a symbolic stand against the darkness threatening Middle-earth. It reflects Muriel's growth as a leader, showing that she's willing to risk everything to protect her people, even if it means aligning with elves. Here we also see the subplot of Isildur, who has been struggling with his own sense of purpose. This comes to a head in this scene. After being dismissed from the Sea Guard, Isildur sees his expedition as a chance for redemption. His decision to join the volunteers sets him on a path that will eventually lead to his role in larger events of Middle-earth's history, tying the series to epic stories that fans know and love. This development also serves as a reminder that there are personal stakes involved in the broader narrative, individual choices that shape the fate of nations. Now, traveling to the north, we're back to Khazad-dûm, where the tension between the elves and dwarves continue to build. Elrond, who's been trying to strengthen ties with dwarves, notices that Durin has been acting suspiciously and begins to investigate. The depiction of Khazad-dûm on this episode is visually stunning, a vibrant, bustling kingdom, that contrasts sharply with the shadowy, mysterious atmosphere of the Southland. The grandeur of the dwarven architecture and the industrious spirit of its people are on full display, adding to a sense of depth and history in the world of Middle-earth. Elrond's investigation leads him to a hidden mine, wherein covers a glittering vein of mithril, a rare and incredibly powerful ore. This discovery is monumental, as mithril is not only a valuable resource but also a material that will play a crucial role in the future of Middle-earth. Doran's initial suspicion of Elrond's intentions adds tension to the scene, but this decision to reveal the mithril and swear Elrond to secrecy underscores the trust that has developed between them. This moment is pivotal in deepening the alliance between the elves and dwarves, despite the historical tension that have long divided their people. This discovery of mithril comes at a cost. A mining accident occurs, trapping dwarven miners deep in the earth. The episode shifts to a scene of raw emotion and cultural significance as Disa, Doran's wife, performs a powerful song to the stones, a prayer for the safety of the trapped miners. The scene not only showcases the unique aspects of dwarven culture, but also highlights the deep connection the dwarves have to their land. The tension is palpable as we wait to see if Disa's song will reach the stones and save the miners, who are eventually saved and rescued. But the incident leads to a heated confrontation between Doran and his father, the King of Khazad-dûm. The king, cautious and wise, orders the mithril mining operation to be shut down, citing the dangers involved. This decision causes a friction between father and son, with Doran feeling that his father's caution is holding the people back. However, the scene also provides a touching moment of reconciliation, as Doran's father imparts wisdom about the responsibilities of leadership. This father-son dynamic adds emotional depth to the episode, showing that even in the heart of the Dwarven Kingdom, there are complex personal struggles at play. So despite the king's decision, Doran agrees to accompany Elrond to Lindon to uncover what the elves are truly planning. This sets the stage for future political intrigue and further deepens the alliance between the elves and the dwarves. The decision also hints at a broader conflict that lies ahead, as the discovery of mithril could have far-reaching consequences for all of Middle-earth. So unfortunately, this is where I would be reporting on this episode's Adventures of Nori and the Harfoots. But the creators chose to leave them out of the episode this week, so hopefully we have extra next week with them. So, Episode 4, The Rings of Power, masterfully weaves together multiple storylines, each contributing to the growing tension and complexity of the series. From the dark mysteries of Adar in the Southland to the political intrigue of Númenor, the episode offers rich character development, action, and a deep thematic exploration. The episode's expanded focus on Númenor's internal strife, the discovery of mithril on Khazad-dûm, and the general but significant. As we look ahead, the stage is set for even greater conflicts and revelations. The alliances are being formed, the secrets are being uncovered, and the personal struggles being faced by each character promise to shape the future Middle-earth in profound ways. That's it for our in-depth recap of Rings of Power Episode 4. If you enjoyed unraveling the mysteries and exploring the rich character arcs with us, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into Middle-earth epic saga. Until next time, keep your sword sharp and your wits sharper, and your eyes on the horizon. There's more to come.